Hey guys, Samurai here, and we're at the end of March, which means it's time for my last what if. Well, at least one of them. As we know, Pokemon Black and White was the first and only generation to have dual movies, this being movie 14, Pokemon the movie Victini and Reshiram, and Pokemon the movie Victini and Zekrom. In this movie, Ash grows a bond with a legendary Pokemon named Victini, and so much so that most people believe that he could actually caught it. Well, in this continuity, let's say he does. Now, let's get started with what if Ash caught Victini. But now, before we actually start, we're going to have to set some things up. Ash will not be catching Palpitoad or Ruggenrola or Leavanny. Yes, it breaks my heart, but I can't. If we want to give Victini equal screen time, we can't let Ash catch those Pokemon, not at least this point. But he will be catching Crocodile and Scraggy because they actually serve a purpose and were given to Ash, or the Pokemon themselves wanted to be caught by Ash. I know Sawada wanted to be catched by Ash in that last episode, but we're just going to say in this continuity, it didn't, okay? Okay. So, now that we got all that set up, let's get started. Now, where would Victini be caught? What episode? Well, luckily, Lumio's trainer Zach made a great video on where the movies will take place. I recommend you check it out if you haven't already. So instead of Ash catching a Ruggenrola, he will catch Victini and no other mons other than Crocodile and Scraggy. Now, let's get started with Victini's debut battle. It will be in the Nimbasa Town tournament arc. Instead of Palpitoad facing Burgundy, it will be Victini. So when I made Victini's moveset, I decided to give a moveset very similar to his one in the movie. So it'll be Flame Charge, Shadow Ball, Wild Charge, and Brick Break. I decided to go with these moves other than Fusion Flare, Fusion Bolt, and V-Create, as he'll be able to use those moves once he's at his max potential or the situation really calls for it. So, and I also think this fits Ash's battle style of using quick and speedy mons, using Flame Charge to increase his speed. Anyways, back to the battle. So the battle starts with Ash telling Victini to use Flame Charge to increase his speed. Since Victini is recorded as a legendary Pokemon, nobody knows what it really is. Like, no one has any information of how it fights and how it battles. But Burgundy uses a takedown and they're about tied. While Burgundy goes for a Thunder Fang, Ash goes for a speed increase Brick Break, and that's all it took for the battle. But for the most of the Nimbasa Town Club arc, it goes pretty much the same. Nothing really changes. Ash still loses to Iris in the finals, as he did not use any extra Pokemon in that final match. In the next major battle was against Elisa. Now, since Ash did not catch Palpitoad in this continuity, he comes up with a strategy that uses Tepig, Victini, and Pikachu. He plans to win with speed, and all of these Pokemon are among his fastest and can exceed their speed to their heightened ability. So, the battle leads on with Tepig against Elisa's Striker. Now, at first, Tepig is getting wailed on, but luckily it activates its Blaze ability, and he uses a Blaze-powered Flame Charge to instantly knock out Zebstrika. But since Blaze only activates when the Pokemon is at its limits, when she sends out her Amalga, it's a one and done. Not to mention the track kinda messed up Ash's strategy. Luckily, Ash sends out Victini, and they're actually tying for the most part, but Ash comes up with a strategy. Every time these Pokemon clash, he tells it to use Flame Charge to increase its speed. It's so fast to the point where Imalga's having trouble keeping up and is starting to get tired. And then while this is happening, Ash tells it to use a Shadow Ball Barrage, shooting Shadow Balls from multiple different angles so Imalga can't counter, and it ends up knocking out Imalga. Now, Elisa's last Pokemon, Dynamo, and Victini stays in. And with his crazy speed, this battle is one for the ages. Flame Charge against takedowns, but Victini's increased speed would actually make for, again, a more dynamic battle. But Ash tries to go for another Shadow Ball Barrage, but to no avail, and Victini is knocked out. But Pikachu secures the win, and they get the Bolt Badge. Now we're gonna move a couple of episodes along to Black and White episode 59 and 60. Victini uses 3 moves that it can only use in extreme danger or in extreme circumstances. These moves being Fusion Flare, Fusion Bolt, and V Create. These replace Brick Break, Flame Charge, and Wild Charge. They help greatly against Tornadoes and Thunderous in their battle. And that pretty much is where we left off for that arc. And in the Clay battle, he doesn't appear, but something that has happened since Victini has left is Ash's Pokemon have gotten a lot more experience, so the starters will actually evolve. I won't tell you guys when they'll evolve, but they will evolve. Now, in this Clay battle, instead of having Bulldor evolve, Oshawott evolves into Duat, but in this continuity, I won't write Oshawott different. We'll keep him as a Duat. They don't get that much experience, guys, but they do get enough experience to go to their second stage. Now, that's the end of part 1. Yes, part 1. I'm splitting this up into parts because that Marth video wore me the out. But anyways, this is the end of Victini part 1. I had a lot of fun making this. I hope to continue this maybe in May because I really like where I'm going with this series. It's probably going to be 2 parts long. Actually 3 parts because of the Decalore Islands. So stay tuned for that. This is Samurai Trainer Z signing out.